Across Africa's liberation history, some names shine as bright stars, and others were buried beneath silence, fear, and forgotten pages. Today, we uncover the fire, the bravery, and the sacrifice of one of West Africa's fiercest daughters, a young woman who carried a nation's freedom on her shoulders. This is the story of Titina Silá, the commander, the guerrilla fighter, the symbol of resistance in Guinea-Bissau's war for independence. Her real name was Titina Silá, but the world remembers her as Titina Silá. Born in 1943 in a small village in southern Guinea-Bissau, she grew up in poverty, in a world where Portuguese colonial rule controlled land, labor, and life itself. But even as a child, Titina Silá was different. Where others saw danger, she saw injustice. Where others bowed their heads, she raised her fist. At the age of 18, she made a choice that would change her life and her country forever. She joined the PAIGC, the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, led by the legendary Amilcar Cabral. This wasn't a political decision. It was a declaration of war. The Portuguese colonial army was one of the best armed in the world at the time. But in the forests, the swamps, and the tiny villages of Guinea-Bissau, a new army was rising, an army of farmers, fishermen, students, and young women like Titina. She trained in advanced weapon handling, guerrilla ambush tactics, first aid, and battlefield nursing intelligence gathering. Instead of staying behind the lines like many women were expected to, Titina insisted on being on the front line. And soon, she became one of the most respected fighters in the movement. Commanders described her as fearless beyond her age, disciplined and unshakable, a woman with the heart of 1,000 soldiers. She rose to the rank of commander, one of the highest-ranking women in the liberation struggle, a feat incredibly rare in the 1960s. As Portuguese forces increased their attacks, Titina Silá became vital to PAIGC's strategy. She led units in the southern regions where resistance was strongest. She wasn't just a fighter. She was a bridge between the people and the revolution. She organized political education sessions, women's mobilization groups, medical support teams, and village protection networks. Communities adored her. Soldiers respected her. Even Portuguese officers feared her. Why? Because Titina Silá knew the forest better than any map. She could strike, disappear, and reappear miles away, a shadow in the mangroves, a ghost in the night. Her leadership helped secure key PAIGC bases and safe routes used to move weapons and supplies. In early 1973, the liberation movement suffered a devastating blow. Their leader, Amilcar Cabral, was assassinated in Conakry, Guinea. His death shook the entire movement. Titina Silá was chosen as one of the commanders to travel from the southern front to Conakry for his funeral, a journey that required crossing the Farim River, heavily monitored by Portuguese troops. On January 30th, 1973, while attempting the crossing, Portuguese forces ambushed her group. Gunfire exploded across the river. Revolutionaries dove for cover. But Titina refused to retreat. Her last act was covering several young fighters as they escaped, shouting, "The struggle continues! Forward!" A bullet struck her. She fell into the river, her blood mixing with the water, her spirit rising with the revolution. Titina Silá died at only 29 years old, but her death did not silence the revolution. In fact, it ignited it. Later that same year, 1973, Guinea-Bissau declared its independence, becoming a symbol of African liberation. Today, Titina Silá is honored as a national heroine of Guinea-Bissau, a symbol of women in armed resistance, and a torchbearer of courage across West Africa. Her name is on streets, schools, and monuments. But beyond the statues and songs, her legacy lives in every African girl who dreams of leading, fighting, and changing her nation. In a world where history often hides the faces of women who fought for freedom, Titina Silá refuses to be forgotten. She is a reminder that revolutions are not carried by guns alone, but by courage, not won by armies alone, but by hearts. Titina Silá, the fearless daughter of Guinea-Bissau, remains one of Africa's greatest unsung heroes. If you love African history and the untold stories of our forgotten heroes, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so more people can discover our hidden legends.